The Karate Kid was such a major movie event in my childhood. In fact, I still have the movie on Blu-ray, and I still pull it out and watch it every once in a while. So when I heard about Cobra Kai, I was really excited about what the series could be. And after watching it, I thought the series was a lot of fun and chock full of good old-fashioned nostalgia, but I do think the show stuck around a lot longer than it should have, and the quality of the overall story suffered over time as a result. I think the showrunners became way too concerned about bringing back as many characters from the franchise as they could, whether it weighed down the narrative or not. I actually thought a fourth-season series would have been in the show's best interest, and I would have kept the rivalry between Daniel and Johnny as a central piece of it. But once they brought back John Kreese as a recurring character, I knew it was going to turn into a shit show. Now, I would have been cool with him showing up and he and Johnny having a conversation about how his philosophy affected his students once they left the dojo and got out into the real world as adults. But I really think that should have been the end of his particular contribution, because from there, I thought, even though the show is technically a comedy, that it got a bit into cartoon territory. I was cool with them bringing back Allie because she was such an integral part of the Daniel and Johnny story, as was the rest of Johnny's Cobra Kai homies, but all of the other OG characters outside of Daniel's mother were just unnecessary, especially since so much of what happened in the story was about Johnny and Daniel's rivalry, their kids, and their kids' friends. I felt like there were more than enough characters to create enough tight, connective narrative stories to fill 40 or so 30-minute episode scripts without the circus needing to come to town. Because the show, in my opinion, ultimately plays like a story about what happens when two 40-something-year-old men have midlife crises and start kicking each other in the face as a result. And to make matters worse, they manage to attract and recruit a few 70-year-olds to do the same. And these kids were absolutely degenerates, I have to say, right? They all belonged in jail. Because they were in complete and total menaces to society, in my opinion. I mean, my man Miguel literally ended up in traction as a result of a fight at school. And that scene where they had the karate off in that house and destroyed the whole thing, I believe it was in season 2, was absolute mayhem. Sometimes the KISS rule is paramount in these situations. Keeping it simple can be the difference between a nice, evenly paced, enjoyable comedy series with some laughs and a show with a load of potential that eventually falls off the rails. This is what I'll remember Cobra Kai as being, a show that could have been nostalgically epic, but ultimately ended up being just okay. But what do you guys think?